third logical relation we'll talk about is logical equivalence. In fact, I've already mentioned it when I talked about logical implications. Logical equivalence is very similar to logical implications. It's when two sentences imply each other, when two statements imply each other. Or you can think about it when if you can take out one part of a sentence and replace it with another, but both of those mean the same thing, then you have logical equivalence, right? So for example, think in like automotive mechanics. If you take out some part of the car, you could take out the whole engine, or you can just take out some part of it and then you replace it with something else. Whatever you replace it with is the equivalent of what you took out. They're logically equivalent. So when you're thinking of statements, you might be able to say the same thing in a different way. So like if I said, like earlier I said, all men are mortal, Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is immortal. Socrates is amortal, right? If I said that, I could also say all men will one day die, Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates will one day die. When I say all men will one day die, the fact that people are mortal means that they will one day die. So I can take out the word mortal and put in will one day die, and it still means the same thing. Or I could say no man is immortal, Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is not immortal, right? So mortal just means we will one day die. Immortal means that we will not die. It just depends on the way I word it. I can word it differently, but it'll mean the same thing. It'll come out meaning the same thing. So this is very often what we do when we're trying to clarify things to people. That's why I keep repeating myself in different ways, and I keep giving different examples, because the more examples that we have, the better it sort of solidifies our understanding of a concept. So if you think about how we, change out parts to a car or an air conditioner or something, we're removing one piece, but we're putting a new piece, and the old piece and the new piece are equivalents. When you're talking about two statements, you can word them differently and still mean the same thing, so they are logically equivalent. So we've talked about logical consistency, logical implications, and logical equivalence. And again, if you got what I'm saying, then you're still probably like, I don't understand why I have to watch this. I don't understand why anybody needs to teach me this. This is kind of like common sense. And it is. But I'm just telling you that many of the things you hear in the world violate some of these basic principles. And it's not because people are stupid. It's not because they're unintelligent or uneducated. It's not even that they're trying to be deceptive and mislead you. It's just that many times we just don't think logically. The natural way that we think about the world or think about things sometimes is illogical. So it doesn't mean that we're dumb or the other person is dumb. It doesn't mean that we're trying to deceive someone or that they're trying to deceive us. It just is a basic fact of human nature that we don't always think perfectly. We don't always think logically. And so being clear, bringing to your awareness these basic relationships in logic will help you then evaluate your own thinking, your own beliefs, as well as the beliefs and thinking of others.